Good afternoon, friends. My name's Herb Epley. I'm from Spartanburg. I guess if I had a title, it would be the leader of the Spartanburg serving team. We have a growing, jumping, excited bunch of folks in Spartanburg with C3. And we're a little more laid back than you guys. I see a lot of ties, and that's why I did this. I just forgot my jacket, so forgive me for getting my jacket. But I get to introduce someone that I've become has become a cherished friend of mine, but also has become somewhat of a business mentor. And I've been a business owner for 35 years. I have owned a company, which has been in public relations, advertising, education type work, and I don't choose mentors lightly. Someone's got to have a strong skill set in order for me to really want to, learn a lot from them. But the gentleman I'm going to introduce to you, Chris Simmons, he's Vice President of Sales for Renfro Brothers, helps drive a large organization. Of course, everybody's familiar with Renfro Brothers, but Chris and I got to be friends off the clock, quote unquote, shared a meal, and just getting the man talking and asking questions. And the real area of his expertise is connecting with people. Connecting, finding what their needs are, and meeting those needs. Whether that actually serves his interests or whether he's able to help someone else grow their company, he has in my opinion, he has a true personification of Christians serving the community, but his main emphasis is in the business community. Now, if you're here to learn something business-wise, now is the time to get your pen and paper out. You ready? Y'all didn't bring pen and paper? Gee. Well, all right, some do. Chris, do come. But Chris is he's only got 10 minutes, but Chris is going to teach you some basics of a skill set that we have already put to use in Spartanburg. The connections we've made. This past month, we had 2 companies step up and provide, it ended up being 36 bushels of fresh apples to the feeding kitchens and the homeless ministries. We've also had great growth in the thrift store ministry participation, just because we're making connections between the members of the Spartanburg C3. Okay, but you realize that we're only together 12 hours a year, right? 12 hours a year, 1 hour a month. How much can we get done in 12 hours a year? The real ministry of C3 does not happen in this meeting. The real ministry of C3 is giving you not the skills, you've already got those, the motivation or the incentive or the participation to use some of the ideas that Chris is going to bring to you right now. So I'm done. You the man?
Please.
Okay.
Everybody stand up for 1 minute. Everybody stand. I know we've been sitting down. I want you to take a couple seconds, and I want you to look around for somebody that you have not met before. And I know because of the shape of the room and the tables, it's hard. But take 2 or 3 seconds and introduce yourself to someone real quick.
I don't know you.
Chris Simmons, how are you?
Mike Zevko, no great. How many people did you say? 2?
Yeah, I can't get this guy.
Okay, guys, that's good. That's perfect. Now, I didn't say conversation, I said meet. Anyway, I thought about this, and William may not even realize this, but many years ago, when I was a small business owner, I had the opportunity through a close friend of mine, Jesse, who was one of the first employees of William, was to be able to go to a function about how to bring Christ to the marketplace. As long as I've known William, many years before I ever worked with him, he's always had a passion to bring Christ to the business place. And at that time, as a small business owner trying to run a business, it was a big blessing for me. And it's funny how God brought us back together. And we actually saw each other at a restaurant. And it was through that early connection and network that God transformed my life and brought to me not only someone I work for, but a mentor and a friend. You see, I realized when I walk into a room, the danger when you come to a place like this, and you see all these people, and you leave here not really knowing anybody more than when you came. You end up sitting with the same person. You end up talking about the same thing. And each month is just like a reunion of your little group. That's not what this is about. This is about being intentional. It's about when you come learning about others. See, I'm also in a group of people who network together to try to get each other business. And I had it all wrong. Because what I created the group for was to feed me, to bring in leads for me. And when I realized that's not what a group's about. Oftentimes we will determine how well we network with people or at a group about how many business cards we get. Or we give away, how many we give away. But in reality, when we walk out of that room, it's about how many cards we can receive. So this group is so much more. When you look at the people in this group, there's so much opportunity for you to be able to build your network. Let me give you an example. When I first started with William, the first sales call, one of the first sales calls, I won't mention the company, was on 290. The first time I walked into the gentleman's office, I told him what we did, and he said, no, not interested. I already have this contractor, I've been with him for years. Well, like most sales guy, I didn't hear the no, so called him back again. The same thing, he told me no. The third time, no. The fourth time, no. So finally, it got to me, I'm either not saying the right thing or I'm not listening to him. And it wasn't I wasn't saying the right thing, I wasn't listening to him. So the next time I stopped by with intention to find out what his problems was. And at the time, it wasn't what I was offering, but he had an issue within his facility that somebody that I was networked with could help him with. So as soon as that meeting went over, I called the gentleman. He called him. They ended up meeting. They did business. Do you know, I just talked to a gentleman in our company. We just got, I think, our 5th PO from that company. And it wasn't because of me. It wasn't because of the product. It was because I brought a solution. So this group that William and you guys are building here is so much more. But the only way to do it is for you to connect. I also realize this. You can't do it 1 hour a month. Be intentional. Find out who's coming. So if you have a list, I don't even know if that's possible, Chris. I don't know if that's possible, and I'll tell you a great story. Chris, who's the coordinator here, I'm at a walkthrough at a company in Anderson. We're walking through a huge project, and the guys were walking through in it. It was about a 30-minute walkthrough. Half the time we're talking about the Lord. And I said, man, I've never had that experience walking through. And as we walked off, I said, I got to get to know this guy better. And he said, well, I actually work for a company. And I said, man, I got to meet your owner. So we met and had breakfast together. And it's amazing how something God can put people in your life. And I'm so thankful when I heard Chris was taking this position. Unbelievable background and what God has brought him through. And so that's really the story. Really, a networking group is all about stories. And I want to hear people's stories because I can't be a benefit to you if I don't know your story. So be intentional when you come to these, find out who's coming, and make it a purpose to say, I'm going to at least try to find that 1 or 2 people. And then before your next meeting, have a coffee. We encourage people to do one-on-ones. Take 10 or 15 minutes to get to know each other. Because think about this. If you're inviting guests to come in here, they don't see a bunch of companies, alliances. They see a group of friends helping each other. They're going to see a difference. That's the group I want to be a part of because when I walk out of here, if an alliance needs something, if a business needs something, if a church needs something, then I'm more because I'm connected to people within this group. That's why this was started. That's why when we begin to transform this room, we'll have to have 2 or 3 of these size rooms, because that's what people need. And so I would encourage you today, be intentional. Don't worry about getting out as many cards as what you're taking. Find somebody that you don't know each time, introduce yourself to them. And then I would encourage you, before the next meeting, find somebody that you can have a one-on-one, a coffee meeting, find out about there. And if you do, this group will not just be a group, it'll be a group of friends. And I don't know about you, I like doing business with people that I like and they're my friends. So thank you very much, and I appreciate it for your time.